Most of us carry a quiet, almost adorable belief. If one day we had more time, we would change our lives. And then we use excuses that sound smart but are really just self-deception. If I could just get 2 extra hours, if this weekend is a bit freer, if I finish this first, then it'll start. But ask yourself, since the very first time you said those things, what have you actually changed? Here's the harsh truth. You do have plenty of time. You're just using it so poorly that you don't even notice. And the day I realized this, the day I finally understood what was actually happening, everything changed. I'm going to tell you exactly how my entire mindset flipped, completely by accident. From a person who constantly said, I don't have time, I became someone who finished more than I ever thought I could. It sounds almost too simple to the point where you might think I'm trolling, but stay with me, because this story gets strange. I used to genuinely believe I was the busiest person in the company. Deadlines piling up, back-to-back meetings, emails stacked like a mountain. Then my boss assigned me a major project and gave me 2 weeks to finish it. It sounded doable, but when the deadline arrived, I had nothing worth putting on his desk. He asked, "So, where's the progress?" I sighed and gave the one sentence overly busy people love using to cover up the truth. I didn't have time. It sounded reasonable, sophisticated even, and saved me from having to explain more. I truly believed I had done my best. But my boss wasn't buying it. He tilted his head, looked at me for a moment, and calmly asked, "How many hours did you spend on your phone yesterday?" In my mind, I instantly picked a safe number, maybe about an hour. He didn't react. He simply said, "Take out your phone. Open screen time." I did, and the moment the number appeared, my face burned with embarrassment, like I wanted to disappear under the table. 5 hours and 12 minutes. In a single day, 5 hours not spent on work. Not spent studying the material. Not spent brainstorming solutions. Not spent learning anything new. Just mindless scrolling, random clicking, staring at things I forgot within seconds. In that moment, it felt like I had been caught stealing time from my own job and from my own future. And right then, the truth I had avoided for so long hit me. I didn't lack time. I was just spending it on things that didn't matter. On a deeper level, I realized this. You have the exact same number of hours as every successful person out there. They don't have a secret 25th hour. They just see time differently. Time isn't something you find. It's something you create by eliminating what doesn't matter. Every time you say, "I don't have time," what you're really saying is, "This isn't important to me." After that conversation, my boss didn't scold me. Instead, he gave me an assignment, one that was somehow even scarier. Track all of your time for 1 week, then report back. I had to record everything, even the tiny, ridiculous activities. Scrolling TikTok? Write it down. Staring at the ceiling? Write it down. Thinking about working instead of actually working? Write it down. 1 week later, when I compiled everything, I wanted to throw the notebook straight into the trash out of pure shame. Dozens of hours had been thrown away on things that didn't move my life forward, even a single centimeter. 7 hours just lying in bed holding my phone. 4 hours watching shows I didn't even like. 6 hours cleaning my desk or reorganizing files, a fancy way of procrastinating real work. And worst of all, I couldn't remember 80% of what I had done. That's when a chilling realization hit me. Wasting time is a form of voluntary amnesia. From that day on, I decided to treat my time like my own savings account. Every withdrawal had to be intentional. Imagine this. If a stranger asked you for $200 just for fun, you'd think they were insane. But if a TikTok app asks you for 2 hours of your life, you give it away instantly without hesitation. We protect our money better than we protect our time, even though money can be earned back, and time cannot. Every hour you spend is a piece of your life you can never get back. No refunds, no undo button. I started asking myself one single question. Is this worth trading a piece of my life for? If not, I dropped it, without guilt. And strangely enough, just asking that one question started to change everything. You begin protecting your time as if it were the most valuable thing you own, because it is. This new mindset helps you guard your time bank, which is great. But how do you actually use that time? Up until now, most of us make one fundamental mistake. We let the most important things happen when we have time. But when we have time is a mythical land, a place you never arrive at. So I had to do the opposite of what I'd always done. I put my personal goals on my schedule first. I treated them like unbreakable appointments. Everything else had to adjust around them. Unnecessary favors? Declined. Pointless invitations? Ignored. Activities that didn't help me move forward? Gently removed. No guilt. But there's something else most people overlook. A huge portion of our time isn't lost because we're lazy, but because we have to travel. Commuting to work, being stuck in traffic, waiting for buses, sitting on trains, these eat a massive chunk of the day. Not everyone can afford to live next to their workplace. Not everyone gets the perfect environment, but what you can do is control this lost time. Being stuck on the road doesn't mean your time has to be stuck with you. If you know how to use it, that time becomes incredibly valuable. Listen to podcasts. Read a few pages if you're on a bus or train. Call someone you haven't talked to in a while. Or simply use that time to think, plan, and breathe amid the chaos of life. Turn your dead time into intentional time, and your entire day shifts. After 1 month, the results shocked even me. I finished a project I had postponed for a year. I worked out consistently. I finished 3 books. I learned a new skill. I had more free time than before. And the strangest part, I wasn't doing more. I was just doing less of what didn't matter. So here is my final challenge for you. Track all your time for 7 days. At the end of the week, ask yourself one question. Is this really how I want to spend my life? If the answer is no, you're standing right at the edge of changing everything. Take back your time. Start living like it actually has value. No one truly lacks time. We just lack honesty with ourselves.